Welcome to On the Firing Line on the information station, AM 1440 KUHL. Information, education, news, and politics of firearms and ammunition is found here. If you have any questions, call us at 1-888-625-1440. That's 1-888-625-1440.
Local hero John Freeman was given the key to the city by a recently replaced mayor yesterday for thwarting a zombie infestation that began sweeping across his city. The infestation started at the east side of Liberal City in the City Hall building where Berkeley graduates were employed. It is surmised that they had smoked some bad dope, and the bad dope was found in the mayor's office, which when introduced to the nervous system would cause heart failure and lead to death. Then, as the bad dope seeped into the brain, the Berkeley graduates would reanimate into zombies. At first, it went undetected, as the Berkeley graduates already looked like zombies, mindless and sucked up from their liberal activities. John Freeman, who was mowing his front lawn 2 blocks west of City Hall, was aware of the liberal activities in his area. Mr. Freeman noticed the unusual swagger in the movements of the zombie horde and ran into his house to retrieve his Mossberg 590 12-gauge tactical shotgun. Upon coming out of the house with his shotgun, Mr. Freeman saw his neighbor, who was putting her "Re-elect Obama for third term" sticker on her car, get devoured. Mr. Freeman then proceeded to eradicate the zombie horde, shot after shot with his 12-gauge. Mr. Freeman was later heard saying, "God bless America and the Second Amendment." This brought to you by Freedom Press, October 31st, 2013.
That's right. Thank you, Joe. You are on the firing line with Matt, Jim, and Joe today. Be a part of today's show by calling in at 1-888-625-1440. Or if you're in the local Santa Maria area, give us a call at 928-1440. Wow, that was a good intro there. Very interesting.
Yes, that just happened.
You're right about that. It just happened.
Yep, right now, live.
Sorry, I had to have some fun with that.
That was excellent.
That was
intro.
Very clever, my friend. Very, very clever. I like it.
I wonder how many people out there are frothing right now.
No, I'm just kind of scared about the third party or the third election sticker. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Obama for third election.
Considering that his poll numbers are down in the mid-40s now.
Don't give
doing
many
a good
ideas.
Well, you know, Halloween's coming up here, next Wednesday, I think it is?
Thursday.
Thursday, yeah.
Like we did last year, we thought we'd do another zombie show.
Yeah, it was fun.
It's time to bring it back out.
Absolutely.
And, have some fun with it.
Yep.
And of course...
I was going to say, everybody has opinions about killing and slaughtering zombies. So, if you want to say it to us, give us a call.
Yeah.
Yes, the mindless idiots. I mean, zombies.
They're everywhere.
You can call us at 888-625-1440, or if you're local, 928-1440. If you happen to be listening in your car and you're stopping at home and you have the internet, hey, get on 1440am.com and
there you go.
Facebook, too. Don't forget Facebook.
Us at
on the firing
line, right? Mm-hmm.
With Matt and Joe, it's a great place to get the outline of the show before it even goes on. That way, if you do want to be a part of the show, want to call up and kind of get involved with it a little bit, it'd be great.
Yep.
Today, we're going to talk about zombie apocalypse and how to pick the best zombie pistol.
Yes.
I think that those are important things.
Very important.
Before we do, I just want to make mention again that in approximately, we'll give you more information in a couple of weeks, but in about 2.5 weeks, we're going to do another live on the internet show with Joe and Matt. So be tuned in for that. You can look at them on Facebook and
if we can, we're going to try to do it from the gun shop.
From the gun shop. Right.
Yeah, I think that should be an interesting thing. Maybe we can get some people that are coming in to buy firearms to talk on the show and
absolutely be great.
Get some ideas and stuff like that. Especially
that'd be great. Or even if you guys wanted to come in and ask us questions live on the air or something, that would be good too.
Right. Yep, that'd be fantastic.
So check your calendars. We'll let you know exactly the right date in 2 weeks from today.
Yeah, we'll keep you updated. That's for sure. So let's get into some zombie apocalypse then.
Yeah, let's do it. I think that sounds like a lot of fun. Just for all you guys out there that didn't know, the first story that I read was fake. Okay.
Oh, it was? Oh,
man.
Yes, John Freeman.
Yeah.
Does not exist that I know of.
He might exist somewhere out there.
That's true.
Thanks, John.
As usual, please keep in mind that Lompoc is having their 4th annual zombie walk this year. Today it started at 12 p.m. and is going to go on as we speak until 5 p.m. We would like to ask that if you see any zombies on your street in Lompoc, please don't shoot them during this period of time, as they are real people in costumes pretending to be zombies.
Have I been doing the show 4 years?
Is it? Yeah, I guess so.
Bum, 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 bum.
Because I remember the annual one.
The very first
The
one.
very
huh?
first one,
Yeah,
me
it's-
and you did it by ourselves.
It's moving along.
Again, this is the 4th annual Zombie Walk happening today in Lompoc, October 26th. It's happening from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m., so just as the show's ending, it'll be ending. And the reason I do this is because I don't want anybody to be watching a zombie movie, open up their window and
No,
see zombies
you're right.
walking on the
You're
street.
right.
Yeah, and freak out and act like they're in the movie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
so
just a
don't do
terrible
that.
idea.
Yeah, we're having fun here. This is Halloween, so we'll talk about it.
All right, I did find an article that's about the zombie apocalypse, and I kind of rewrote the article a little bit. So it would have, I don't know, a little bit of realistic to it, even though it's not. Then again, who knows?
We don't know. We don't know if it's coming or not. Zombie apocalypse.
Absolutely. All right, so zombie apocalypse. Zombies are popular in the young and old alike American culture right now, especially among gun owners. One reason is that your imagination can run wild and how you would defend yourself and family with weapons of all kinds. There are many people that think a zombie outbreak has merit within the possibilities of reality. A friend of mine told me that animal testing for the government is being moved to the center of the United States, which is where they did the testing on mad cow disease and where the Spanish flu got out, which was first observed in Haskell County, Kansas, and killed more than 50 to 100 million people worldwide. So with that being said, if a strange brain-affecting disease got out, it would get into our food supplies and wipe out 3 to 5% of the population, which is way more than 50 to 1 million people these days.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
With the population of the world now, I mean, even a sliver of the percentage would be astronomical.
Yeah, you'd be looking at trillions of people being affected.
7 billion people already in the world, right? There's
Yeah.
7 point something billion.
So just imagine percentage-wise how bad it could be. And, in the center of the United States, that's where a lot of our agriculture and stuff is. And
Yeah.
if it did get into the food system, you can bet it wouldn't be pretty for the rest of us or around the world. Can you think of a more extreme example of a natural disaster than the zombie apocalypse? Emergency responders overwhelmed and taken out of the picture entirely. Power and utilities down with deadly creatures roaming everywhere. Even the federal government has gotten into the emergency preparedness game with FEMA, recommending everyone have a kit loaded with everything you and your family would need to survive for 72 hours. Everyone tends to think of a natural disaster as a short-term event, hence the 72-hour bags. But what if the problem goes on and on? What if it went on for about a year and it appeared that your world would forever be changed? Finding food and water is just the priorities you would have besides avoiding the undead. It took months, if not years, for life to return to normal in Louisiana after the Hurricane Katrina. And people in New England had no power for weeks after Sandy. After a disaster, there is no time to be thinking about buying a gun for protection or stocking up on supplies. You would be forced to use whatever weapons you could scrounge: knives, screwdrivers, handguns, crowbars, shotguns, baseball bats, rifles, and samurai swords, or even a crossbow. Kind of like in the Walking Dead.
I'd take a samurai sword.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I like that idea. Although your arms might get tired after a while.
yeah.
Chop, chop, swing.
I think the
Chop, chop,
shotgun.
swing.
I think
There's the truth
shotgun.
dart.
Yeah, your arms will get tired.
Yeah. All right. If the undead ever walk the earth or not, there will be more natural and man-made problems to consider. People will be using the situation as an opportunity to be idiots. The biggest, yeah.
I was just saying that's so
The
true. 'cause,
opportunity?
Well, we see all the time when there's something crazy going on. There's always a large group of people doing dumb stuff.
That's-
Looters and all that, and that's life.
That's just the way it works.
Yeah,
Yeah, you got
that's crazy.
idiots
Yeah.
out there that
Yeah.
think, oh, well, look, I'll go to every house that's been abandoned and search for money and gold and
Yeah, I mean, and even if you're not trying to get something like cash or something, I mean, if you're looking for water and food for your own family, I mean, and that's where it starts getting into splitting hairs, because that, the moral ground right there could be washy.
Well, and the biggest problem we'll have to deal with will be other survivors who want your stuff.
That's
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
That's right.
The mere presence of a gun won't deter a zombie, but it sure works on regular people thinking about causing trouble.
Yeah,
That reminds
I would
me of
agree.
the LA riots.
Yeah.
Remember those Chinese guys?
yeah, out in front of their
protecting-
shops with shotguns and stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
That-
they were there. Actually, we were seeing them actually shoot. We hadn't seen them hit anybody, but we were seeing them shoot people. We're like, wow, it's really happening.
Wow. Yeah.
Well, in martial law, at
Yeah.
that point,
Yeah.
I mean, the government have given permission that people can shoot looters.
Yeah.
It's like Somalia, village rule.
Yeah. Even without a disaster, the world is full of thieves. Protect what you've got and don't start telling all your neighbors how you're ready for the zombie apocalypse. Because if you have a generator and enough guns and ammo, food, water to last for years on your own, they'll be standing on your porch knocking. If things get really bad, they won't knock.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, you don't want to tell your, people who might be your buddies one day, and then you're shooting them in the head a month later because you told them you have a bunch of food. Really.
No, it's serious.
I mean, that's just like, you don't want to have your kids bragging about, oh, my dad has all this stuff. You're like, well, don't say that unless you want me to shoot your friends, because they're going to come up here one day.
That way you can pick and choose who you're going to share with.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
All right, let's talk about ammo. You'll need lots of ammo. You can
Yes.
never have too much ammo for any disaster scenario.
Not once.
Your weapons will have to be fed, and if you run out, your firearms will be worthless, and you'll have to go out and look for more. You should probably have lots of magazines to go with your ammo, keeping some of them loaded at all times for a quick response. Most people aren't so good a shot and don't practice enough, so they might fire all the rounds in their magazines and need more. Think, in October, the Guns and Ammo published a story in which an older gentleman with health issues was beset by home invaders. 3 guys with guns and masks entered his home, plus there was a driver in the getaway car. The homeowner fired multiple shots at the men, seriously wounding one and driving the others away. While they weren't zombies, the lesson is clear. You need ammunition.
Yeah, absolutely. And, 4 or 5, 6 shots may not be enough. And reloading something like a revolver, that might get hard too.
I don't know. Did you guys ever see Tremors?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Of
Okay, who
course.
did they rely on?
They relied on the guy with all the ammo and guns. What was his name in that movie?
I
God.
was just thinking that.
I remember with the big truck in his
yeah.
house. It was like a fort until
I
the.
never remember the character names, but I remember the people who played it. It was,
The
Michael.
mustache.
Michael. No, I just thought it. Michael Cole and Reba McEntire was his wife.
Right.
Yeah.
That's some good stuff. I remember those.
What?
The first
That was
movie
a good
was great.
one.
But that's who they relied on, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
absolutely.
That's
Disasters
totally it.
coming and go. Let's get the guy with the guns.
He's got
He was a
bunker and all kinds
nutcase
of
just
stuff.
a week before.
Exactly.
Whether it's the zombie apocalypse or a tornado that's torn up your town, things will need to get done.
Or Tremors.
It is far better to be a part of a team working together than trying to go things on your own.
Absolutely.
Somebody always needs to be on watch to make sure the biters are not sneaking up behind you. In the aftermath of a natural disaster, you'll discover your neighbors have all sorts of useful skills, such as carpentry, plumbing, or auto repair. Some of them can also stand guard on your house while you sleep. I'm going to worry about that one. I may never
Yeah,
sleep
yeah.
again.
Yeah, exactly.
If I give somebody a gun, I don't know if I'm going to sleep around. Well, maybe. People working together can accomplish a lot more. During the LA riots, store owners
We
worked
were
together
talking
to
about-
defend the properties thanks to teamwork and their assault rifles, which personally I don't consider them assault rifles.
Right.
They
They're
saved
rifles.
their stores.
Yeah.
That's
That's all it takes.
That's just it. That is all it takes.
Like we said, they're always going to rely on the guy with the gun first.
Yeah.
When things like this go down.
Oh, that's
You get together, and that's one thing. Even in the we have the Second Amendment in George Washington and our forefathers that all kind of got together and wanted people to have multiple guns and lots of ammunition, so that if there were people in your neighborhoods or people in plantations or farms around you that didn't have weapons, you could supply them,
Yeah.
and you could all stand up together.
Yeah, I mean, if you're one person, you're not really going to be able to shoot 6 guns.
No.
So just think of that. If you can make 4 or 5 people armed and make yourself that much stronger, why wouldn't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you know what? You don't have to tell everybody you have guns for a long time until that point comes.
Yeah,
That way you
that's a
don't
good point.
have unknown people showing up at your front door wanting to use one of your firearms and you having to
Yeah.
deter them in such ways.
Well, we'll get back to it.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with you on the firing line. This is On the Firing Line with Matt, Jim, and Joe. We'll be right back with you on the firing line. If you have any questions, give us a call at 888-625-1440 or in the Santa Maria area, 928-1440. Don't forget, you can always listen in on AM1440.com.
Tactical Guns and Gear is the Central Coast leader in tactical rifles, pistols, shotguns, and accessories. Building the AR-15, lower receivers, parts kits, trigger groups, and a ton of other AR parts from the most popular companies are in stock, as well as a large selection of handguns, tactical shotguns, and bolt-action precision rifles.
They are also the home of the Women's 101 Firearms and Women's Advanced Pistol classes.
Located just off the 101 freeway in Santa Maria near the North Broadway exit, look for the big rifle sign on the freeway, as well as the giant 5-ton tactical military truck. Support your Second Amendment rights and visit Tactical Guns and Gear today.
On the Firing Line is happy to have Law Offices of Christopher Coleman as a sponsor. The Law Offices of Christopher Coleman is located in Santa Barbara on 2019B State Street, specializing in personal injury and, more importantly, the Second Amendment and On the Firing Line with Matt and Joe. Give them a call at 805-682-3352, serving the Santa Barbara, Santa Maria, and San Luis Obispo areas for over 25 years.
Now a great word from Santa Maria Motorcycles, formerly Santa Maria Harley-Davidson, located at 2022 Presker Lane. They are dealers for Honda, Kawasaki, and Harley-Davidson. Grab your family and go see the museum, filled with exciting older bikes that you won't see anywhere else on the Central Coast. As well, they are the #1 motorcycle dealer on the Central Coast with the largest inventory around. Go in and see Martin Buchanan, or you can give him a call at 805-928-3668. You can also go visit them every first Thursday of the month for Bike Night. Starts at 6 p.m. Have a great time with your family at Santa Maria Motorcycles.
You are on the Firing Line with Matt, Jim, and Joe. Be a part of today's show by calling in at 1-888-625-1440, or if you're in the local Santa Maria area, please give us a call at 928-1440.
Marine Corps League 1340 is hosting their annual Marine Corps Ball on November 10th at the Radisson Hotel at 3455 Skyway Drive, Santa Maria, California. The ball will celebrate the 238th birthday of the United States Marine Corps. There will be a dinner, dessert, music, dancing, and raffle prizes. Tickets are $40 each and limited to 250 people. It is fitting that we who are Marines should commemorate the birthday of the Corps by calling to mind the glories of its long, illustrious history. The record of the Corps is one that will bear compassion with that of the most famous military organizations in world's history. To purchase tickets, contact Armando Marino at 805-714-9074. Join your fellow Marines to honor the 238th birthday of the United States Marine Corps at 1700. That's 5 p.m. on November 10th at the Radisson Hotel, Santa Maria, California. Remember, contact Armando Marino at 805-714-9074.
Semper Fi.
And hoorah!
Hey, I just want to clear up one thing. Even though the article says, I'm not a Marine. I would love to have been able to say I was, but I'm not one, and I don't want to take credit for something I'm not. But we respect these guys and what they've done throughout all of America's history.
Big time.
Absolutely.
So
they are the blue ribbon of the world.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't have anybody in my personal family or a little bit of extended family that was in the Marines, but I do have friends, of course, and I had two friends that served in Vietnam.
There you go. My uncle was a Marine.
Yeah, my uncle is a Marine.
Became one just as the Vietnam War was ending. So he kind of, I don't know, I guess you could say he lucked out.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of like me. I was towards the end. Not some of my friends, though. They were right there in the 60s and 70s. So
it's crazy. Well, the next
how to
article.
Pick up the best zombie
How to pick the best zombie pistol.
Yes, there's lots of choices out there. You got to make sure you get the right one for you.
That's right. Now,
some things to think about.
This article was written by James Tarr, actually last year on the 29th. But before we start, I think we should talk a little bit about what we think are some of the best.
Yes,
best
absolutely.
Zombies. I kind of like the idea of a 40 or a 45. I think that would be a good choice for a round.
Something with a little bit more.
Yeah,
lead
a little
going
bit,
down range.
Yeah, a little bit more than just a 9, because I don't want it bouncing off somebody's skull.
Very true.
Here I am saying skull and bad things like this in the air, but this is a zombie we're talking about, not live.
That's
we're
what
talking
in
about
cases
a dead
that
animal
infest
or
a
a dead
brain is
person.
a skull.
Right.
We have to crack it to get through to the brain.
Exactly. That's exactly
Why
right.
is it that zombies need their head whacked off.
Because I guess there's electrical stuff still going on
Their
in the brain.
brain's infected, not their heart.
So, yeah, and once the heart and everything bleeds out, the muscles are still reacting to the electrical impulses sent out by the brain. This is because I've studied this, and I'm a doctor. I have a doctorate
Dr.
degree.
DeVegas.
Yeah, Dr. DeVegas. Okay. But, so I'm liking an HK USP.
Okay, that's in
45.
45?
Yeah.
All right, 45.
I
yeah.
like that.
That'd be a hard one to beat, honestly. You know, because I would kind of lean towards like a 1911 for me if I was shooting a 45. But that only has 6, 7, 8 rounds.
Right.
So that's where I'm going to start saying probably not. So I'm with you on that. I'd probably go with a more modern 45 that I could have 13 or something rounds in.
Just think, dude, and if I could, oh, God, if only my UMP would hold the USP magazine.
Oh, that would be
Wouldn't that be awesome? Because then, oh, man, I just mags for both.
Yeah.
All day long, 13 rounds.
That
Or
would
if
be-
not more with extensions and
Yeah,
stuff.
if you could get some nice mags and have some 20s. That'd be
That's funny. You know, I do have, what is it, the 1306? What's the one Smith & Wesson?
oh,
The older one that the police used to use?
yeah.
I think it's a
Yeah,
1306.
1306, I think.
Or 5009 or one of those guys. Anyways, I've got a Marlin 9mm carbine rifle that uses the same magazine.
Is that Car 9 or
Yeah,
Camp 9?
the Camp 9.
Camp 9.
That's,
yeah, those are
that's
cool.
a nice setup right there.
Yeah, I totally agree. That would be fun.
Well, okay, let's... So,
yeah, we digress.
you know, another good weapon is, I think both Matt and I would agree, would probably be the AR or the AK.
Oh yeah,
I
I mean
think
you got to
either
have a
one.
rifle, you got to have an AK or an AR. You know, that's a gotta have. Check that. You know, if it was going to be an AR or an AK pistol, maybe yes, but I think I'd rather have a standard pistol.
Yeah, I'd rather have the standard pistol and a rifle.
Yes.
What's
So
the
have
one
both
he's
of them.
got what is it? Woody Harrelson's got in that movie. He's got.
Oh, you know what? I don't know which weapon it is. I'm sure they're using all kinds of stuff. I thought it was a shotgun.
Yeah,
That he had
that's
a
what I was
shotgun, but he
thinking.
also at first he had that.
I have to go back and look at that
Yeah.
movie. I might have to play that for Halloween.
Yeah,
I thought that was going to be a good
probably
movie.
like a
It's going to
Desert
be
Eagle.
scary, man.
You know what I've got picked up for the house, so that when the kids are coming to watch, coming to ask for candy, we're gonna have Hocus Pocus on in the early part of the day, and then I'm gonna go to that new movie, Hansel and Gretel.
that movie's gnarly.
Dude, that movie's awesome. I
I've seen
thought
The
it was
Wizard
great.
of Oz. I thought the power,
Okay,
the great and wonderful Wizard of Oz. I thought that was good.
You know what? Who do you get to shoot except for little Oompa Oompas? In
No,
that?
no, the little monkey guys, man. They killed him with
the
a bunch
wing-
of
oh,
monkeys.
okay, the winged
winged
monkeys.
They
Yeah.
killed him, yeah,
Yes.
but he didn't have a shotgun. He bet you wish he would have been coming at him.
Coming at him like a spider monkey.
Oh my goodness. What was the one? Evil Dead. You
Evil
know,
Dead, yeah.
Army of Darkness. Yeah,
Oh, that was
These
Army
are
of
all
Darkness.
zombie
great.
movies.
Yeah, with the
Yeah,
chainsaw.
it's basically a zombie. He's got
gosh.
one arm that's cut off, and he's got a chainsaw on his arm, and then he's got a shotgun that he uses. He calls it his boomstick.
boomstick. Yep.
That's a
I've
great
heard
one.
that before. I've heard that before.
So, all right, how to pick the best zombie pistol. It is said that you use a pistol to fight your way back to the rifle you never should have put down in the first place.
Amen.
It is also said that handguns have one distinct advantage over long guns, in that they are worn, not born. Wearing a handgun in a holster means that you never have put it down to do something. If you do a rifle or shotgun, as you do with a rifle or shotgun,
Well, I have one thing to say.
yeah,
A sling is like a holster, right?
yeah,
Kinda. If you don't have to put it down.
Yeah, right.
sling it on
Yeah,
your
sling
back
it on
and
your
keep
back,
doing what
yeah.
you got to do.
All right.
Whatever-
I just wanted to
whatever-
interject that because that's kind of where
Whatever
I.
you-
Well, I didn't write this article.
Whatever you need. Yeah.
But some of it's got some good stuff in it, okay? While there can be no denying that rifles and shotguns have a distinct advantage over both power and reach, it is the handiness and convenience that makes the handgun indispensable when the excrement hits the wind generator and the dead start walking the earth. Let's just call it for what it is.
Absolutely.
When the beep hits the fan, okay? Yeah, I pushed the button
That
for
was
you.
clever. I thought that was
a
pretty
good one.
clever. Yeah.
Before the question of which handgun is best for defense against zombies can be answered, several other just as important questions must be asked. First, what kind of zombies are we talking about?
Yeah. Are they going real slow or are they like the crazy ones from the
Dude,
movie?
like 28 Days
yeah.
or Z.
Yeah, and they're
I
just
mean,
all like steroid zombies.
running at you at full speed, going chop, 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 chop.
Exactly.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
tackling you. That's no good.
I didn't see it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you'd better hope you have some practice.
No
Because
kidding,
if
yeah.
you don't have any experience with a handgun,
Yeah, hitting a 20
you're-
mile an hour target.
I might as well just push you over so they can eat you, so I can run a little bit further.
Why do they want to eat people? I don't.
Because they love brains, man.
Yeah, the brains give them more electrical stimuli to their nervous system.
I'm
I guess.
asking all these questions. You see, I don't see a lot of zombie
Google
movies.
it, okay?
No, we're recording,
Google
so I
zombies.
can't. Yeah, that's I should do.
Traditionally, zombies are the walking dead from voodoo mythology. These are the true animated corpses, not alive in any sense of the word and sometimes controlled by others. What I'll call Romero zombies are what we have all seen in such documentary films as Night of the Living Dead. These are the bodies that are in every medical sense dead, and yet they are still animated to what extent their rotting bodies allow. The third type is not really a zombie at all, but should be mentioned anyways. These are the infected, afflicted with any number of viruses or plagues which turn them into mindless killing machines. That infected are in many ways the most dangerous of the three.
I would agree, yeah.
100%.
Infectious. That's like a rabid monster, or a rabid beast, you know?
You know, that's the type of zombie apocalypse, if we ever have one, that's going to be happening.
Yeah, rabid people.
Yes, rabid. I'm sure that scientists out there have already been delving into medicines for warfare, for chemical warfare. They can drop and turn everybody against each other.
Yeah, that's not too far off to think something like that at all.
Not at all. Well, maybe we could add aliens and zombies. That's what the aliens would do to the human race, right? Turn us all against each other?
The aliens would turn
We would
us to
need
zombies.
RoboCop then.
Oh, man.
All right. Matching the tool with the job is important no matter what you're doing, whether it is auto repair or clearing the undead from your lawn in your town, like Mr. Freeman.
Yes.
What kind of pistol will work the best against the above threats? Well, that depends. The Romero zombies are perhaps the simplest of these threats to dispatch. Severe trauma to their central nervous system, i.e. the brain or an upper spine, will put them down. If you're using a pistol, this means you need to have something powerful enough to penetrate the human skull reliably from any angle. The human skull can be remarkably resilient, however, so pay attention. That's
totally true. I mean, it's kind of gruesome to talk about, but, people do get stuff caught in their jaws and deflected off their heads all the time. It
happens all the time. You're absolutely right. I've heard of stories where, like in warfare, guys get shot with a 9mm. That round will actually wrap around the skull, staying within the skin, or even enter a vein and end up out in different areas where you'd never think it would come out. It's unbelievable.
Literally taking 90-degree turns inside you.
Yes.
Stuff like that.
Just so you guys know out there, if you have any children around, you may want to keep them separate from this show, because there are going to be some graphic scenes to describe here.
Graphic depictions.
Depictions.
I'm a little late telling you that, but hey.
But if you haven't figured that out by now,
yes.
This is a warning.
All right. Voodoo zombies are true animated corpses. They are dead flesh walking. They have no beating heart, which means that even if you shoot them full of holes, there is not a drop of blood left in their bodies. They will keep on coming.
Gosh.
Wow.
Should you shoot them in the head, then, unfortunately, a corpse is a corpse, and a dead brain is a dead brain, whether or not it's been perforated by bullets. Shooting voodoo zombies in the brain won't stop them. So what will stop them?
shovel to the leg.
Perfect. Or samurai sword.
Samurai sword, chop, chop.
It's been suggested by some in the scientific community that shooting out the eyes and ears of voodoo zombies will reduce or eliminate their ability to be able to track you. This is an unproven theory, and one I would not like to bet my life on.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be aiming for eyeballs and ears. Those are really tiny targets when
You
you're
got to
really
tell them to
scared.
turn and spin. It's like, come on.
Hey, look at me.
Besides, the history of voodoo zombies shows that they are quite frequently controlled by other people. So maybe they aren't even using their rotting eyes and ears. No, the only way to stop a voodoo zombie is to eliminate their power of locomotion. Broadswords, or better yet, a 2-ton dump truck traveling at high speeds would be a much better job for this than a mere pistol. Well, we have to work with what we have, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I would still rather have a pistol than a shovel. I'll be honest.
Go for the support structure, meaning
Yes.
the pelvis and the thigh bones. Once the zombie is reduced to crawling, you'll have a lot more time to think and act. Magic or science, their bodies are still made of flesh and bone. And if you destroy their joints so that they can't come after you or grab you, you'll have eliminated them as a threat, even if they still are animated. To do this, you'll need to use a caliber powerful enough to not just reach the center of the body, but to break bones.
Yeah. And, when I think about this type of stuff, I don't really think that we'd be sitting 500 yards away. I'm thinking, we're one
Face
foot
to face,
face. Yeah. So at that
Don't
point,
bite me.
Yeah. At that point, you're doing whatever you can do. Breaking the bones. Well, yeah, that would work. Because if the thing's all broken up, it would just go in circles.
Absolutely. Well, here's another thing, too, and it's been used, I believe, in the military, has been considered and stuff, is if you first aim for the pelvic system and you take out the hydraulics,
you're going to fall.
They're going to drop, and your next shots aim for that same central area will automatically be placed in the head.
Yeah. Yeah, or the center of the chest. It's going to be a good,
Right.
It's going to be a center mass type thing.
So it also works on real people too, ladies and gentlemen. It's something you have to consider for if you're at home protecting yourself from just some mindless idiot that decides to come in and break into your house and try to hurt you in any way. All right, more education of zombies and the best gun to pick.
Absolutely.
The infected are not dead per se, but are mindless attackers who feel no pain. Many police officers have had to deal with suspects out of their mind on drugs who are in the same condition. Gunshot wounds to the hydraulic system of these people will not stop them, because until they have totally bled out, they will keep on coming. There are only two ways to stop the infected: shut down their brain or eliminate their ability to come after you by destroying their support structure. Either method requires a handgun chambered in a cartridge powerful enough to perform the tasks. The first step in deciding which handgun is best suited to one of all of these tasks is realizing which handguns are not. The process of elimination makes things a lot easier. For example, revolvers, while reliable and time-tested, are just not a good choice when it comes to dealing with the undead for two reasons: capacity and speed of reloading.
Yeah, that's a big one to me.
Absolutely.
Sure, I'd take one if that was the only thing. I would use a revolver. But if there was any other thing in semi-automatic, that's what I'd go for. Even if it was a 45 and a 9 or something like that, I'd still go for the smaller one in the semi-automatic.
Reminds me of an Adam 12 episode I watched.
Oh my, zombies in Adam 12?
No, it wasn't zombies, but the two police officers were chasing these bad guys, and the bad guys were over their shoulder, trying to shoot at them as they're running away. And finally, they got click, 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 and they just turned around and threw the revolvers at the two Adam 12 officers.
Once they're empty, that's all you got to do.
That's it. There was no way they were going to be able to reload them while they were running. All right, we should probably take another quick break. When we come back, we'll go ahead and finish on with this story, the best pistol for the zombie apocalypse. So we'll be right back with you on the firing line with Matt and Joe and Jim.
We'll be back to more of On the Firing Line with Joe and Jim after this.
This is On the Firing Line with Matt, Jim, and Joe. We will be right back with you on the firing line. If you have any questions, give us a call at 888-625-1440 or in the Santa Maria area, 928-1440. Don't forget, you can always listen in on am1440.com.
Tactical Guns and Gear is the Central Coast leader in tactical rifle, pistols, shotguns, and accessories. Building the AR-15, blower receivers, parts kits, trigger groups, and a ton of other AR parts from the most popular companies are in stock, as well as a large selection of handguns, tactical shotguns, and bolt-action precision rifles.
They are also the home of the Women's 101 Firearms and Women's Advanced Pistol classes.
Located just off the 101 freeway in Santa Maria near the North Broadway exit, look for the big rifle sign on the freeway, as well as the giant 5-ton tactical military truck. Support your Second Amendment rights and visit Tactical Guns and Gear today.
On the Firing Line is happy to have Law Offices of Christopher Coleman as a sponsor. The Law Offices of Christopher Coleman is located in Santa Barbara on 2019B State Street, specializing in personal injury and, more importantly, the Second Amendment and On the Firing Line with Matt and Joe. Give them a call at 805-682-3352, serving the Santa Barbara, Santa Maria, and San Luis Obispo areas for over 25 years. You are on the firing line with Matt, Jim, and Joe. Be a part of today's show by calling in at 1-888-625-1440, or if you're in the local Santa Maria area, please give us a call at 928-1440.
All right, just another reminder here. The Marine Corps League 1340 is hosting their annual Marine Corps Ball on November 10th at the Radisson Hotel at 3455 Skyway Drive here in Santa Maria, California. The ball will celebrate the 238th birthday of the United States Marine Corps. There will be dinner, dessert, music, dancing, and raffle prizes. Tickets are $40 each and limited to 250 people. It is fitting that they who are Marines should commemorate the birthday of the Corps by calling to mind the glory of its long illustrious history. The record of the Corps is one that will bear compassion with that of most famous military organizations of the world's history. To purchase tickets, contact Armando Marino at 805-714-9074. Join your fellow Marines to honor the 238th birthday of the United States Marine Corps at 1700 hour. That's 5 p.m. on November 10th at the Radisson Hotel, Santa Maria, California. Contact Armando Marino at 805-714-9074.
Semper Fi.
Huh?
All right.
All right, let's do get back into the zombie pistol. Best pistol for a zombie apocalypse.
Yes, let's see here. There is never just one zombie. Everybody knows this, and it's hard to hear the word horde without automatically associating it with the undead.
It wouldn't be
Horde.
an apocalypse if it wasn't a whole horde of them, you know?
Absolutely.
I think a horde's like birds or something, you know.
And if you say one, it's like a baker's dozen.
As always. That was awesome.
All right. So yes, as I was saying, where there is one zombie, there are a dozen. That's why there's such a problem. Alone, they're easy to outwit, except for the sometimes very mobile infected. Outmaneuver. In fact, groups, they can surround you and break down your barriers through sheer body weight. Revolvers only hold half a dozen rounds, and even if you have speed loaders, they're still slower to reload than semi-automatics.
Yeah.
In the movies, you'll quite often see characters armed with Desert Eagles.
Oh, man.
While these are very fun pistols to shoot or look at, they have no place in zombie defense. They are too big and heavy to carry for any length of time. So much so that getting them out and aiming at the threat with any speed is a losing proposition.
I would agree.
Chambered in .357, .44 Magnum, and .50 Action Express, they definitely have enough power. Too much, actually. Recoil with a Desert Eagle is more than you're going to want in a target-rich environment.
Yeah.
Their capacity is also somewhat limited, so no matter how cool they look, avoid them unless there is no other alternative.
Yeah, that just makes me think in a lot of the movies, you see guys shooting two of them at once and
Oh, I
stuff.
know.
You're like, how would
It's
you
so
shoot two of
ridiculous.
those? Even when you have one of them and you put it all the way out in your hand, it gets heavy really quick.
I've shot the .50 Action Express, yeah, and so have you, and there's just, oh my God.
I'd give me a 9mm.
Yeah, over that thing all day long. All right, and just think, with a M&P, that's 22 rounds you can put in that thing?
Yeah, with the extender, exactly.
Maybe that's what I should do, is stick with the FN. 30
Oh, there
round
you go.
magazines in my pistol.
Then you just tap, 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 tap.
Yeah,
tap,
I could
tap.
put 3 mags on me, and I've got 60 rounds. Wait a second. 90 rounds. That's right. Ooh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's heat right there.
90 zombies go down. The baker's dozen is reduced to...
Negative 72.
Right. At the opposite end of the spectrum are the so-called AR pistols, stockless, sport-barreled versions of America's rifle. These light recoiling weapons are fed by high-capacity magazines.
There it is.
And no doubt, the 223 5.56 round has enough oomph to reach the brainstem. The problem, however, is that these are handguns in name only. The advantage of a handgun is that it can be at your side, holstered at all times. These pistolized ARs have to be slung. As such, for our purposes, are no better than a rifle. If a stockless AR counts as a pistol, then my pistol of choice is an HK, MP5K, or PDW. But of course, no one would consider that a handgun.
Yeah, why not have an MP7 or something,
Dude, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll make a holster. Give me some
Yeah.
leather.
There you go.
Yeah, this is zombie apocalypse, man. We can't pick and choose.
You're going to be the mayor soon anyway.
Yeah, I'm not John Freeman. I'm Joe.
Joe Freeman?
Joe Freeman. The ability of the undead to hear and pursue sounds is well documented, so many people might think that using a suppressed pistol is the answer. However, nobody makes a holster for suppressed pistols. I don't believe that.
But, I'm sure you can get a holster, but the popular ones that are already out there generally don't fit them.
And hey, so you keep your gun holstered without it, and then every once in a while, you just
when
put
you
it on
need
there
it, you
and
put it on.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
Which is probably how they get used, really, Not that I would know.
We'd have to ask Mossad.
Not that you would know.
Yes, we would. We'd have to ask him.
The inability to be holstered is what eliminates any suppressed pistol from consideration, as far as I'm concerned.
Yep.
While they usually don't move very fast, zombies can quite frequently move quietly, and you need to be prepared to react in an instant. A pistol set on the ground somewhere over there is not the answer. Oh, God, no. Why would you do that? Oh, because of the suppressor. Okay. I've heard several people suggest that the Suppress 22 is the ideal zombie pistol. Yeah. Low recoil and noise. Can you imagine you find a zombie that's got a really thick head?
Yeah, click, 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 click.
Stop! Somebody help me.
Yeah.
Combined with cheap and plentiful ammo are immediately good arguments for this platform. However, what good is a weapon that won't put down the threat?
Yeah.
While a 22 long rifle will put down a Romero zombie with 1 or 6 shots to the head, depending on how many bounce off the skull, those little bullets will do nothing to a voodoo zombie.
Yeah, when it's running at me at 25 miles an hour, I want something that's going to do something.
Yeah, that's why I said the HK USP 45.
You're probably not going to
Nice
have time
pistol.
to press the trigger 6 times per each one of them if there's 12 of them.
You get a 45 and one big rock comes out of that thing.
Yeah,
As the
exactly.
old-fashioned, you got to hit 2 birds with 1 stone here.
There you go. Oh, man.
Now, will a 22 kill one of the infected? Yes, with a good headshot on what is probably a fast-moving target. Good luck with that. Just like you said. If you can hit them repeatedly center mass and wait for them to bleed out, meanwhile, they're still trying to kill you and everyone around you.
Yep.
The ideal zombie pistol should be powerful enough to reach the brain the first time, more often than not, or any bone in the body. All centerfire cartridges throughout thought suitable for defense, personal defense.
Yep.
9mm, 40 Smith & Wesson, and 45 ACP do this, with the 45 probably being the best. The 45 ACP, however, has a lot of recoil and the cartridges are fat. Relatively few will fit inside most handguns. Yeah, I don't buy that.
But in comparison, the
All
same
right.
size gun that would hold, we'll just say 19 rounds of 9, it will probably hold 11 or 12.
Okay, I want
45.
an HK USP 40.
Oh, now you're compromising.
Yeah, I don't like compromise. You know, I still don't like the idea of the 9 necessarily for this. I mean, you do get a lot of rounds, and I'll probably end up having a 9. But
A little more power, though, is what we're going
yeah,
for.
exactly.
All right. I
Bigger
get it.
rock, faster moving. I'm happy. Yes, Mike.
Especially when they're coming after you.
Yes, especially when they're coming at me. I'm gonna put it down right there and stop the threat.
And putting their bumper stickers on their cars and stuff like that. You know?
Yeah, crazy zombies.
No third term. God, I'm gonna get investigated for that now for the rest of my life.
Yeah, I was
every
wondering
5
about
years.
the NSA if they're listening in on us today.
I mean,
failed
I
to
never made
remember
a
that.
threat against the president. It was just the
No,
lady
of
putting the
course
sticker
not.
on
No, yeah.
that got eaten by the zombies.
Yeah.
We love OB.
On with the show.
Okay, we all went to silence there for a second.
Well, see, that's code, so the
sorry.
NSA wouldn't know what I was really saying.
Yes, that's right. It was
So, yeah,
it was
I'd be-
a silence of
Jovial
homage.
silence, yes.
Yes. The 40 Smith & Wesson round is a good balance between the 45 ACP and the 9mm. Power-wise, it is closer to the 45, but guns chambered in this caliber can hold more rounds. Consideration, however, should be given to ammo availability after the world turns upside down. UPS won't be making any deliveries. While many people in law enforcement agencies, that's a good choice. You may be stocking up on ammo at an abandoned police station. And they use both 40 and 45. So you might find a lot of ammunition in these places. And you might find it as much as you might find 9mm ammunition lying around as any other caliber. This ready availability combined with the number of the cartridges you can fit into an even modestly sized semi-automatic puts the 9mm ahead of the other calibers. Okay.
There you go.
Wow.
So we've settled on a 9mm auto as the basic envelope. What features should it have? Well, good sights, of course. But just about every pistol today has a serviceable sights. It definitely should have a tactical rail on which to mount a flashlight. While a light may draw zombies to you, there is nothing better to light up those dark corners than a flashlight, and a weapon-mounted flashlight is best of all. Most importantly, the pistol you choose needs to be reliable. Ooh,
Yeah, most importantly. Absolutely.
God.
You know, I wouldn't get too wrapped up in the sights that you have as long as they work and you can see them and you can see a target. You know,
Absolutely.
That's the
That's
end
where
of the
night
story.
sights might come
Yeah,
in
but
good
you want
too.
it to work.
Amen.
That's number one.
Amen.
It's true.
Please
I mean,
work.
Can you imagine? jam,
Yeah.
double feed,
Oh,
jam,
that
click.
would- no, I could not imagine. That would be terrible.
Work through that.
Yeah, don't look at it.
Oh my God.
Fix it.
You'd have to be climbing a tree or something like that to get away for a while.
Climbing a
while you
tree and
fix your
fixing a
weapon.
double feed. That'd be
Yeah,
awesome.
right, yeah.
I can do that.
Hope you don't drop your mags down the bottom.
Oh,
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
I was thinking about wearing something around your neck. You know what I'm saying? Like your ammo would be around your neck, kind of a thing.
You know, that's
Rambo.
probably a good idea. Your gear that you're going to have is
Yeah,
going to
so
be
you can get to
important.
it pretty easily,
Yep.
no matter what.
You need pouches for at least 6 to 10 AR mags,
Yeah.
and probably another,
Some
4 to 6 pistol mags.
Absolutely.
A medikit. Well, actually, if you get
Yeah, the
big,
medical kit
Yeah,
is
well,
almost
yeah,
going to be
yeah,
inconsequential
right.
at this
Yeah,
point.
you're right.
You know, yeah, you might want to have it just in case other things happen.
So you
Like
don't
say-
get scratched.
Yeah. Well,
You
I
can
think
say
if
to
you get
the
scratched-
zombie, "You need a Band-Aid."
yeah, you could always help them out.
Yeah, you know,
Too bad. You're gonna. You know what?
he might think about it.
That's what the samurai sword's for.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because if they're
need a
going to
Band-Aid.
turn, they're going to turn. You don't
Yeah.
want to waste your bullets.
Yep.
That's God. By then, how much does a bullet cost these days?
Oh, jeez, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're gonna have to give up a whole gallon of water for one round, if you're lucky.
Seriously, that's very
That's
true.
probably
that and
true.
Food, absolutely. Water is the commodity. I had a friend of mine tell me years back that if you want to invest in something, invest in water, because
People
water
are
is-
always gonna need water.
Yeah, and water is becoming more and more polluted. More other countries are starting to gain more control over the waterways or not waterways, but mountains that water come off of and
Yep.
things like that. And of course, in America, you have private owners that have it, and they can block it off and they can control all of it, and they will be the wealthy of the future.
It's true. Yeah.
I remember in the movie where the crazy guy says, "I've got this great idea. I'm going to bottle water."
And look today.
You just go to the tap and turn away. You bottle water for.
Yeah.
Look today. Look
I
at
know.
all the water
Yeah.
in plastic bottles.
Oh man.
Wow. All right. So most reliable handgun, right?
Yep. It's got to be reliable.
Yes, the
Yeah,
1911
definitely.
is the handgun against which so many are judged.
That's
They
true.
can be made very accurate, and it's a single action trigger allows quick and precise shooting. The traditional 1911 payload of 8+1 45s is significant, and a high capacity double column versions of this design can hold twice as many rounds of 40 Smith & Wesson with extended magazines. However, it usually takes a gunsmith to get guns like this reliable, and then there's the cost. Once the world falls apart, paper money will be useless. But until then, we all have bills to pay and food to buy. Investing over $3,000 for a custom or semi-custom high-cap 1911 is perhaps not the best way to spend your pre-catastrophic dollars. I believe there are better options.
Yeah, I would agree with that. They're fun. They're great guns. But if you're it says it right there. If you're going to spend $3,000 on it, you could put that money and buy yourself a whole fortress.
Dude, yeah, I could buy one pistol and a lot of ammo.
Yeah, thousands of rounds and food and water.
Get your rations of food out.
I was thinking again about the Tremors. Remember, they made their own ammo
Yeah.
in there too.
Yeah.
They had their own thing where they spun the cartridges and all that kind of stuff. And
That's like we have a reloader for 20 gauge shotgun shells. Of course, we haven't really used it yet, but we're looking into 5.56 223 reloading equipment right now.
Yeah.
Because we've got so many empty casings that from practice and stuff that it's
Yep.
time to start reloading them so that we can practice even more.
Yeah, and especially like this, it's a perfect example of where that would be so awesome to have right
Oh,
here.
God, yes.
Because like you said, if bullets are going for $100 in trade, what is it worth if you can make 20
Right.
of them or 100 of them every
Well,
day?
you'd have food
Right.
forever.
Yep.
Your family would be fed. All right, DASA and SA semi-automatics are tougher to shoot than pistols, which have the same trigger pull each time. That's double action, single action,
Yes.
just for you guys out there who don't know what DA and SA are. This is especially true for new or inexperienced shooters, which may be surrounded with between
Yeah.
double action.
No, just saying that the double action, single action pistol would be new to shooters, and it'd be really hard for new shooters to shoot.
That's
you're going
true.
to be surrounded by these people. I don't want to be
Right,
surrounded
right,
by
yeah,
a bunch of people that are shooting for the first time and shooting inaccurately.
No, I do not want that happening.
that
I'm
could
gonna-
be detrimental to
Let
your
me shoot
health.
over his shoulder.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
All right, striker fire pistols. The trigger pulls on striker fired guns are better. The better the trigger pull, the more likely you are to hit what you're aiming at.
Yeah. If you take less time to sit there and screw around with the trigger, It's just, you're going to get a better hit because the thing's not going to be wobbling as much. You're not going to be shaking as much because you don't have to be on the thing as long. Lots of advantages.
Absolutely. Now, Glocks are the striker fired pistols against which all others are judged, and for good reason. They point naturally. Their triggers aren't too heavy. They're a lot cheaper than 1911s, but most importantly of all, they're reliable. While they're not perfect, plastic sights, mushy trigger pulls, their positives far outweigh any negatives. I carry a Glock 34 every day, this guy says in his article. And if I had been asked last year to pick what I thought was the best zombie pistol, I would have chosen just that.
Not a 34, not for me.
No, me either.
I don't want a compensated pistol when I'm going into war.
No. I think if I was going to choose a Glock, I'd probably choose this,
19?
Or
18.
22.
Okay, you
Glock
guys.
22, isn't that the full size?
What's the weapon you want everybody to purchase or have on hand in case of the zombie apocalypse?
You should make that choice yourself between three different things. Get
Yes.
a Glock, a Smith & Wesson M&P series, or...
That kind of leaves. There's lots of things there. You could do the 1911 type thing, but I would say definitely try out the Glock, M&P, and an XD.
That's what I was going to say too. But if you're going to try an XD, make sure you get one that the magazine releases clearly, doesn't get stuck in the magazine well, so you end up having to strip it out every time you have to reload.
Yep.
Because that's something I've noticed has been a problem with the XDs. While the Glock and the M&P seem to drop their mags freely each time.
Yeah, and obviously when it gets dirty and stuff, so it kind of sticks in there when there's dirt, but they should drop out. Just the better, if you don't have to take your hand up to pull a magazine out, you're going to save time on the reload.
Next question. What is the optimal place to shoot a zombie now?
Of course, that's Tactical Guns and Gear. You can come on down there, bring your zombie with you, and we'll run him back and forth in the rain.
Yeah, at gunpoint, nonetheless.
All right, no, seriously.
It is a good place.
Shoot him in the head.
That's what I would say, yeah.
Yeah, or the neck, I think.
Right between the eyeballs, right in the
That's
T box.
the best place, yeah.
Yep, get right into that brain, and if you can, snap that spine. Either shoot him, if you got to hit him in the front, in between the eyes, from the back, right in the center of the head.
Well, I hope that you guys all enjoyed that. Halloween's coming up this Wednesday. If we do get a zombie horde, make sure that they're a real zombie horde and not just kids out there dancing around.
Because they're still out. I mean, they got about another 3 or 4 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Started at noon today in Lompoc.
And especially with Halloween being there, they're going to be out everywhere. It's not just scheduled zombie things. There's going to be zombies everywhere for the next week, okay? So let's just take it easy on the zombies this week.
So go out, get yourself an AR, a pistol, be ready for the apocalypse, and
And shotgun's always good too. I'm gonna kick that in there.
yeah, I like that idea.
A good 12 gauge shotgun, something like a 590 or an 870. That's gonna be nice
And
to
if
have.
you got a backpack, you might want to throw in a Beowulf upper in your backpack just so that you can, store a little bit of ammunition back there because that'll stop any car. And if it'll stop a car, it'll stop 4 or 5 zombies at one time.
Yeah, go right through the whole whole brick of them.
I like that idea.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Wouldn't
Shooting a Beowulf.
It might hurt after the end of the day, but
Yeah.
you get used to it.
Yeah.
Toughen up.
Again,
is
we're going to
game.
be, I just want to make a reminder again, in about 2 weeks, we're going to be broadcasting live, hopefully from Tactical Cool, and we will be live on the air along with, not just, we're not going to be here at the station, but we will be at Tactical Cool, and you'll get to see our smiling faces because we will be videotaping too.
Awesome.
Oh, man. Dun, dun, dun.
Hey, I hope everybody enjoyed the fact that we did a zombie show and then we break it up every once in a while like this. You
Gotta
can
have
always
some
go
fun.
on. Yeah, you can always have some fun. Go on to our Facebook. Let us know what you think about that. Go. We read the comments on there.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And we love discussion. So please,
Yeah, tell us what you would have picked. Why wouldn't you have picked what we picked?
that would be.
Tell us.
I wish somebody would have called and just kind of got into that one. That would be great.
That would have been terrific.
Yeah.
Because I want a club with nails in it.
Yeah, why?
Or a heavy duty slingshot, the one that goes over your wrist,
Ball bearings.
Yeah.
With the ball bearings. That
Well,
would work.
that's like that'd be the
Silent.
same as shooting a 9, but you're silent.
Boink.
But you've got to be a good aim with that.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, well, practice makes perfect. If there's truly a horde of zombies, you're going to get real good real quick.
All right, don't forget about the Marine Corps having their ball over here on Skyway Drive at the Radisson Hotel. We'll let you know more about it next weekend, of course. And as a matter of fact, Matt and I were talking about next week. We might talk about all the weapons that the Marine Corps has used from inception here in the United States to today, just to kind of get an idea. what they're all about.
How awesome they are.
Yep. All right, everybody, have a great weekend. Thank you very much for listening, and we'll be talking with you next weekend.
On the firing line.